I'm Megan and welcome to the Figure Skating Heart. Okay, so Canadians just wrapped up and I want to dive right into it. It was a really great weekend of skating. Actually, I pretty much lived on my couch and there were some standout skates for me. Megan DeHamel and Eric Radford had a great short and a great long. I really love their programs this year. Their short program, Eric Radford actually composed the music, so that makes it even more special, and it's a really beautiful piece. And there's some real highlights of choreography in both of their skates that kind of stand out to me. In their long program, it's an Alice in Wonderland theme. I mean, they don't do, I'm really glad they didn't go over the top with their costumes. You know, sometimes like when you go with a theme like that, people can take it too literally and go too far. They just hinted at it in their costumes. But there's like a lot of great moments, but there's one moment in particular that I really love, and it's after a lift near the end of the program, and they both it's just perfectly timed in the music, and they both do like this run and into like a really great, I think it's into a really great footwork sequence. But I just love that moment, it always gives me goosebumps. So yeah, they I think it's their third title, yeah, they won their third title in a row, and well deserved, amazing skates. As far as Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer, I feel sad even talking about it because, not sad, they're amazing. I mean, of course, if you like figure skating, you've got to like them. I don't know how you couldn't. But they had they kept playing these clips about how, set to some song about friendship, and they showed them through the years, and everybody knows they're retiring after the Olympics, and it's just really sad. I mean, I'm going to miss them just from the skating perspective. I really I think I covered this last time, I really can't stand when people retire. I just always look forward to the same skaters and never want them to leave. But those little montages they were showing made me sad for them, because it's like, gosh, imagine doing something since you were a kid and being with somebody every day, and then when you retire, everything's going to change. I mean, everyone goes through it. It's going to be really, I don't know, I just feel it would just be such a weird transition to go through, a tough transition, I think. Almost, I don't know if more so when you're a pair, because if you're singles, I mean, it's not like you're going to spend less time with yourself, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to Stars on Ice in April, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be there, so I can't wait to see them then. And, you know, fingers crossed for their Olympic journey. I mean, oh, speaking of them, on the W Network, they have a show once a week on Thursday nights where they sort of are following Tessa and Scott in sort of like a reality type thing, and it is awesome. It's riveting television for me. It's so cool to see behind the scenes and just, I don't know, it's just so neat. I love it. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely, it's good. It's only a half hour long, which I wish it was much longer, but it's just really fascinating. And I mean, of course, I always knew that they were really nice people. They always seem that way, but you know, you get to know the personalities even a little bit more. And so, yeah, I mean, there's just nobody more stunning than Tessa Virtue, is there? So Caitlin Osman came back and had a great Canadians, kept her title, which I was pretty sure she would, but also skated fabulously, especially considering that she's been injured and stuff. So I really admire her spunk. It seems like nerves don't get to her like other people. Maybe that's that she's so young, or it just might be her personality that she's just more of a go-getter, which is awesome. And then Patrick Chan, I saved him for last because he had, you know, not an ideal Canadians, but I think it was Liz Manley who was being interviewed, and she sort of said that kind of stuff is necessary almost when you're she sort of said it might not be a bad thing if you have sort of a rocky nationals when you're the Olympic hopeful heading into the Olympics. And I kind of agree. I think with the amount of pressure and just the amount of stuff that must be going through his head, and that you're obviously you're trying to peak at the Olympics, and I think sometimes the nationals, when you're Patrick Chan going into that, it's almost like a way to get out those last minute jitters. And ooh, what was that? That was weird. Stop it with the hands, Manny. Those last minute jitters in competition, and sort of have those little, you know, blank spots where you pop a jump or do something like that you would never want to do in the Olympics, sort of get it out and beforehand, and sort of, I don't know, feel and also too, I think it might be hard if you had a perfect skate. You almost might feel like you jinx yourself, because to have another perfect skate, you kind of want that perfect skate at the Olympics. So yeah, his short program was rocky, his long program was better. And I mean, even when his jumps are off or he's having some skating issues, he's just the way he moves to the music and the quality of his skating, and I don't know, it's a beautiful thing. So I can't get enough of watching him. So yeah, overall it was a wonderful competition, and Weaver Poge had a great skate. I knew they would, and There's a couple other things that I want to talk about that I wrote down in my little notebook when I was watching it. The announcers kept talking about, Rod Black and Tracy Wilson kept talking about the team event at the Olympics, where it's like, I guess every country has its own team and they compete for a medal, one person from each discipline kind of thing. I don't think I'm explaining that right, but you probably can fill in the blanks there. Anyway, so I guess that happens before the skaters do their own individual skates. And I think it was Rod Black who was saying that it was like an advantage that some skaters in previous years didn't have, that you could get out there on the Olympic ice and do your program and then get to do it again. But I don't actually, in my opinion, I just don't think that would be an advantage. I think it would probably mess with your head a little bit, competing with your program once, then competing again, because obviously you want that big skate for your own skate, but I mean, you want to do well for the team event. So I don't know, I feel like that might be, I don't know if that's like, I don't think if I were a skater I'd really like that, having to do that before then I got to my real performances. Because what if you had, like I said before, what if you had like that standing ovation, not a foot wrong, divine moment in the team event, and then you skate your own program a couple days later and it's sort of lackluster? That would really suck. Anyway, here's hoping that doesn't happen. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about in regards to the Canadians is something that I've always sort of noticed over the years, and it's one of the many things that I love, is that the skaters and their stories and, you know, what the commentators explain to you about what they've been through. Like if a skater, for example, has, you know, gone through a lot of injuries and they're trying to come back and they're persevering through a lot of things and stuff. I mean, that's very inspirational, and it's very inspirational just to watch skaters skating. But I also find that it sort of applies to your own life. Like I find it very personally motivating, and I almost take sometimes like things like as a little bit of advice. And it's funny because I was thinking about it when I was watching. I also find that like when they talk about the pairs or the dance, all the sort of things that you hear kind of apply to like a personal relationship, like a husband and a wife. And then when they talk about ladies or men, it's normally something that you can apply just to your own life. And I really do find that over the years I've had a lot of help and a lot of motivation just from watching figure skating. For example, like with the pairs and the dance, talk about like how long the pair's been together, and the longer they've been together, it's an admirable thing. And I like that as far as relationships. It's not just when a couple's brand new that it's exciting. It's after they've been together for a lot of years and they really know each other and they're very intuitive about each other's movements and emotions and stuff. That's when the team really can be really at their best almost. And I just like that sort of thinking when you apply it to a personal relationship, and also how they work together and how they respect. For singles, I find there's a lot of talk about, a skater will talk about, or the coaches will tell them to, you know, stay in the moment. You have to stay present. In order to give your best skate, you have to be there emotionally. You have to be present in the moment. And that can be really hard to do in real life, but I find if you can do that, and the more you do that, the more fulfilling your life can be, at least I find for me. So it's almost a reminder to stay in the present. And when something bad happens on the ice, you know, they have to pick themselves back up again immediately. They have to focus on the next skate immediately. And I think that's a really good thing. And I find that very personally motivating as well. So I just wanted to talk about that. I don't know if that made much sense. I was sort of rambling there, but you know, just one of the many things I love about figure skating. So I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'll be back very soon with lots more talk of figure skating. Bye. Honey, mommy's just filming, okay? Good idea. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, so I'm not really a big fan about what were the other things I wanted to talk about? I can't remember. Had some major technical difficulties, but I'm back. Oh, this is a long story. I'm so frustrated. I've taken off. It took forever to get off the ends. They'll talk about. I think I started talking about was